Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda and this is the first of my weekly videos. So as a bit of an overview as to what we'll be doing here and an introduction to me, this will just be a short little intro piece. So the aim of this channel is to educate and clarify the signs of domestic and family violence and coercive control, really, relationship abuse. So if we can work through the hallmarks of healthy versus unhealthy relationships, then we might be able to help the people around us that are in situations that they just don't quite know how to deal with. Little disclaimer, I'm trained as a community services worker and I am a domestic abuse victim survivor. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not an expert in any capacity, but everything that I share here on this channel will be as thoroughly researched and up to date and accurate as possible. May in Australia is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it's time everyone was aware. We're not doing enough. Society's not doing enough. We're not protecting each other, and it's time for things to change. On average, more than one woman a week is being murdered in Australia at the hands of an intimate partner. Whether that be a current partner or a former partner, that's not okay. That's not okay. A lot of the times children are also victims in these homicides. Now I know that women and children are not the only victims of domestic abuse. I understand that completely. However, the research shows that the vast majority of domestic violence homicide victims are women. So a little bit about me. I'm a divorced mum of one little poppet, and my marriage was not a healthy or a happy one. I never classified it as abusive, and that's despite being called a dog, retarded, stupid, constantly being told that I couldn't and didn't do anything right, being shamed and hit and barricaded into rooms, yelled at for hours and hours on end, raged at, and having my property broken, being physically kept away from my child when she was upset. Despite all these things, I really just didn't recognize that I'd gotten myself into an abusive marriage. I just thought that it wasn't perfect, but maybe I wasn't meant to have a happily ever after. Oh no, I didn't recognize it for what it was until my counsellor said, you do realise that your marriage is abusive. And this was news to me. I sort of did a double take at him, and it took a bit to convince me that he knew what he was talking about and I didn't. My counsellor then started educating me around power and control and the cycle of violence, and oh my goodness, once I saw that cycle in my relationship and in my life, I couldn't unsee it. And you could almost set your watch by him, and it was textbook. And I knew then that it wasn't me, and I wasn't going crazy. Because that's why I was seeing a counsellor, because I was the crazy one. So then once I saw it and recognised it for what it was and was finally convinced, then it was a matter of how do I get out of this? How do I extricate myself from this? And I could see the effects it was having on my daughter. I knew that she deserved better. So that is why I say that my little poppet saved my life. She was the reason that I had enough strength to get out of there. That's why I'm here, because sometimes you don't know what you're in. You don't know how you got there. And you need a clarifying voice to walk through it with you, and a reassuring voice to say you're not crazy. So I hope that I can be that clarifying voice. I also hope that I can educate as many people as possible around the subject of domestic violence, because you don't need to have had a black eye to have been abused. You don't need to be battered and bruised to be living in tremendous fear. I hope to be able to educate enough people around domestic violence that victim survivors don't ever have to hear again, why didn't you just leave? I hope to be able to help those of you who have found yourself in a situation that has beaten you down to rebuild your strength and sense of self, and to move forward to the lives that you deserve. So thanks for listening. Until I see you again, take care of yourselves and be kind to one another. Bye.